Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat, #1 podcast in the world. As always, if you're not a member of the Chatty Cathy Club, things are popping in there. Things are popping in there. I see a lot of people that bought the membership a while back and just been a struggle to get into the Discord. So definitely reach out to us. And then we have someone new that's helping us with the Twitter. So go follow the Twitter account. It's going to be active now and engaging. So engage with the account. And we'll have him on the pod this week, hopefully, so he can introduce himself so you know who you're talking to. He's a local guy. So thank you for that. And we got an action-packed episode. We're talking closing of stores. We're talking Bud Light and the future of American beer is at stake. And then we talk about what's happening in San Francisco and Chicago with the retailers leaving. And of course, why not another Chinese app? Race to the top of the charts here.
Come and kick our ass, China.
Yeah, why not? Let's get into it.
Hash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Hash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. So I've been seeing a lot of boycotts around Bud Light.
Okay.
I think we talked about it briefly that Bud Light and what was the other brand?
Nike
had sponsored like a trans influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And it caused like an uproar amongst like core Bud Light drinkers that, you know, this is crazy. I'm boycotting. But then when you realize it's part of Anheuser-Busch and you realize what they own, you basically have to boycott beer and really kind of start thinking about, are you going down this rabbit hole of clearly analyzing every single brand you either eat, wear, participate, stay at, and do you make that decision if they're not aligned with your values? Because, by the way, the left was doing this too when anything that was Trump related, remember that
they called for the boycotts, which never worked.
What's interesting with the Bud Light thing, I saw a story of a bartender telling a story in Kentucky that a customer ordered Bud Light and everyone at the bar jokingly started making fun of this person.
So my view on it is it possible Bud Light's trolling because they know they're going to just infuriate the right and have people just going and tweeting about Bud Light. You can't avoid Bud Light.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think they were trolling?
No, I actually think...
And they got all this media.
Did you watch the video of the woman who's the marketing?
Yeah.
That's what she believes. She believes this is a way to get a younger Gen Z audience onto the brand.
Yeah, but the counter to that is they know the 50-year-old Bud Light drinker went and got a 6-pack on the way home from work.
They might have got a Coors Light. That day, they may have changed their behavior.
Do you think they even saw it? Because the Bud Light drinker isn't on social media.
That's on Tucker Carlson, buddy boy. That is hot Tucker Carlson media.
Oh, so Tucker Carlson did a segment.
Everyone did. Megyn Kelly, everyone talked about it. It was great clickbaity news. And so here's my belief on this. If Bud Light genuinely believes they can attract the younger audience and lose their core audience, genius marketing man. Okay, great. Go for it. If they can't afford to lose their core audience, do we like the woman on the marketing materials was talking about the brand was very fratty, bro-y, but that's kind of who drinks beers.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't you think that it is like there is a beer for every audience, but Bud Light historically, Clay Travis posted an old Bud Light video. He goes, this is what America wants.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fast cars, eagles,
beautiful women.
Yeah, blondes in bikinis. And to be fair, it probably would work too.
I think they both would work. And I don't think you're going to lose the core demo because beer drinkers are very proprietary on what they drink. I don't think an ad they don't agree with, similar to Nike.
Well, here's the difference. Nike kept double down because they knew their core audience is always going to be young. They're a very different brand. Nike can do whatever they want. They know as long as we're relevant to the youth, fuck everyone else. And they're right. Nike gets it and they have the consumer. Bud Light, you have to be 21.
Yeah, that's fair. But I will say, when you look at we talked about this, when you look at elections, the things that Republican opinionists think that matter actually don't.
Yeah.
And these new faces of Republican media, like Clay Travis, the Republicans have been in a tailspin ever since he's become one of the faces of their opinions. Because no one actually gives a shit about any of this stuff when they go to vote. So it's almost more theatrics. Like, yeah, I know he gets a lot of views and he's on this big radio show.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about this marketing strategy of Bud Light.
Yeah, my point is no one... I
actually don't think it was a good move for Bud Light. Because I think their core demo isn't young person.
Like, is the construction worker
that
is leaving the construction site when he wants his six pack?
Can you imagine what that person is saying when they go home? You're on the site all day, up in the 60th floor of a high scraper. You come down, you pick a six pack. What does your buddy say to you? You know exactly the words that are coming out of your buddy's mouth.
But if he likes Bud Light, he likes Bud Light.
And then, okay, maybe he does it one time. Will he do it a second? Will he do a third? It's just...
I just don't think these issues actually... I think Bud Light might have made a strategic move, given what happened with anytime you do something like this, it's so divisive that you get so much free earned media ads.
I know. So I'll give you the counter is that there are a lot of businesses that have a very conservative view in how they approach marketing. Always American flag, made in USA, red-blooded American. Like that's their marketing tactic. And they're monster businesses. Are they big as Nike? No, absolutely not. Nike is culturally on another level than everybody else. The biggest brands are very progressive in the way they think about the world because that's where the world is heading. The interesting thing, I'm more taking it from a bit. I have no fucking horse in the race here. I don't give a shit what you drink. There's such an opportunity to just go right-wing beer.
Yeah. No, I mean, Happy Dad, not that they're right-wing, but they did it with Gen Z drink.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the interesting thing because clearly the conservative movement is resonating with young people still. That
I agree with, and they don't vote.
Yeah.
I think young people love Trump.
Because he's cool.
They love, all the buffoonery.
Yeah.
He got a roaring applause we talked about at the UFC event on Saturday. I think I love him.
Yeah.
I just don't think it matters at the election booth.
Yeah, I'm not talking about election. But here's where it does matter with the election. Whole Foods is shutting down in San Francisco, one of their downtown locations. That's fucking devastating. Walmart is leaving the city of Chicago.
So they shut 4, right?
4 locations. Do you know how big Walmarts are to leave? They said each store was losing tens of millions of dollars. So Chicago is now officially one of the most progressive cities in the world. The biggest business on earth is leaving your city. And maybe they still have some footprint there, but it's not resonating with businesses, your progressive values. So how big of a deal was it when 20 years ago when we were in downtown, they said a Whole Foods is coming to downtown
LA. Big.
It was transformational for that part of downtown LA. 100%. One grocery store. Remember when any neighborhood you would say, we have a Whole Foods coming. What did that represent? High income, gentrified
the
location.
Wine bar, the cheese, all that shit.
San Francisco just lost one?
Yeah, no, I saw that. It's crazy.
That's my point, that it's not resonating with everyone. Like and that has nothing to do with progressive values. It has everything to do with losing money. Yeah, because progressive policies are ruining businesses.
Yeah, Walgreens has left San Francisco, at least a handful of their locations.
Where do you buy anything in San Francisco? Do you just do you have to go to the suburbs and shop for? It's like iRobot.
I think in San Francisco, it's still very expensive to live in. San Francisco proper. They're just Amazoning.
Yeah.
They're not going to stores.
Yeah.
Zero chance.
It's just a whole new society of vacant buildings.
Yeah.
And then some restaurants and bars.
There's no way I'm
Like your
Making
friends in
this
San
up-
Francisco, when they heard about that stabbing, does it now they all have children. They're not single young guys
Yeah.
with money. Does that change their behavior on how they operate in the city?
I think their behavior was already changed.
Okay.
So I think that was like a 3-year ago thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of them live in like, the nicer parts of the city. They've all moved out of Soma, which is where this happened. And that part of San Francisco may never recover. I don't know. But there are nice parts of the city and they stick to those areas.
They're not wandering.
They're not wandering. They're certainly not walking at night by themselves.
You know what's so funny? Do you know, like, Uber was created in San Francisco, like the company was based there, and they were really thinking about how to solve for transportation in a city where it was all over the place and people was trying to go. Now the same city, no one wants to go anywhere.
Yeah, everyone sticks to their own pockets, especially with children.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, that's what drives tax revenue. People with children, people that buy homes, people that put their kids in schools and grocery shop. And I mean, I can't my bigger issue is that some of these issues that we are talking about at a high level have such a major impact on local level that the secondary impacts of that Whole Foods closing, the Walmarts, more so the Walmarts closing, 4 in Chicago is, there's no small Walmart. What are they, 50,000 square feet, 100,000?
They're massive.
And
it's
then
not like a bodega going out of business.
what's going to go in there? A prison?
Nothing. Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to put in that? There's nothing that can go replace that.
You were in San Francisco more recently than I. Well, actually, I was there when the NBA opened. So that was what?
November.
October.
Yeah, I haven't been since then. It was fine.
It was fine.
But I also saw what the zombie land that everyone was talking about. I just refused to go near there.
Yeah,
And
no,
the
it's a
Tenderloin.
tough. It's definitely tough. But then there are really nice parts of San Francisco still.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're very expensive.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that if you think about what happens to all of these neighborhoods that have gone south, where businesses are like, we don't need to be in Portland. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's just get out of Portland. Let's get out of San
let's
Francisco.
think about our own backyard. Which cities are the most dramatically affected by this crime wave? Hollywood, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's still thriving businesses in Hollywood.
But there's no, think about it. What besides rock and roll Ralph's, there's not grocery stores on every corner there.
I guess there's still restaurants. There's still really hot restaurants in Hollywood.
Yeah.
There's still nightlife venues that people go to frequently.
To be fair, that part of Hollywood is Zombieland, but the crime isn't like what's happening in San Francisco. There's definitely petty crime, but I don't think it's at the
Yeah, I guess F&B hasn't suffered in LA. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I walked that one time I had COVID. I stayed in Hollywood and I walked around. They were all empty, all the restaurants. There was no one. Yeah, people go to Mother Wolf, but no one's going.
Horses.
Okay, but
And
Horses
then-
is next to me. It's not. It's not.
What's the Pizzeria de Michel? That's slammed.
Yeah,
That's in a tough part of Hollywood.
yeah. But though you're talking, it's LA. You're talking about 3 restaurants.
Yeah, but do you think the
If you go to Venice,
Mel's Diner by Hollywood and Highland, I bet you it's still slammed 24 hours a day?
I don't know. There's tourists still. Yeah, there's a lot of tourists.
It's still young people.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious, but what I am seeing is that could you open a grocery store in San Francisco, higher prices, armed guards?
I don't know if you're allowed to. I mean, you've seen those videos, the Apple store, they let the robber just steal everything because they don't want to get sued. It's a bigger liability for Apple.
What if Apple shuts down?
If Apple stores start shutting down
In San Francisco?
that's pretty bad
Yeah.
because that's where it was all created.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So much of all of this innovation came from this city, and they're leading the decline on daily society of how it should operate.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are super vocal about the crime in San Francisco. Specifically, I think it hit home to a lot of the tech world because, Bubbly was known as this great innovator, and he's obviously very rich.
Yeah.
And if it could happen to a really rich guy, it could happen to all the other rich guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's what was the awakening. I'm curious if there's any change.
Yeah. No, I think my view is more around all of this people's views on different brands and people's views. They all have impact from a business standpoint, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to create different things for people that have a different view. Everyone doesn't have to have the same view. You can create a brand. If you feel like Bud Light is not supporting the LGBTQ community, then you could create your own brand. If you think they aren't supporting the conservative religious community, you can create your own brand.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want.
There's definitely opportunity.
What drives me is the complaining. And then when something bad happens, like Walmart leaves your city, then what do you do? Like, it's kind of nuts that when I saw that, the Whole Foods, whatever, it's not the end of the world. Walmart is a big deal.
Yeah. No, there's definitely opportunity. I mean, we always joked about it on here. If drama went right wing 5 years ago, it'd be the biggest star in the world.
It would be huge.
Massive.
Yeah.
Ohio, tatted up, cool looking.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even
because
being...
they needed they don't have a cool young guy.
Milk Boys,
they play both sides.
Yeah. But they don't mind the photo op with Trump.
They have no problem with the photo op. They have no problem with Tucker Carlson coming on.
Yeah.
But I don't really... I consume their content. They don't strike me as MAGA.
No, but they'll
have Michael Rubin on, who's like one of the most progressive.
They're business people at the end of the day, right? But they could have conservative views. I mean, they obviously double down on Trump.
It works on social.
Yeah,
right wing content works.
Yeah,
because it's like the underbelly that people are afraid to talk about in society.
Yeah,
but they believe those views.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's my point. Is a lot of opportunity with both views from a business standpoint.
Yeah, no,
you can
fair.
be a brand for one group of people because I think we're going to continue. I don't think you could be the America's beer anymore.
Yeah, and that's the great segue. It's like, can there be an American brand that's for everyone the way GM and Ford were, right?
There isn't. What is
now? It's like if you buy Allbirds, you're coastal elite.
Yeah.
And if you buy
even Nike, it would be considered your liberal.
Big pro shop.
Bass Pro Shop.
Bass Pro Shops. You lean right.
Yeah.
Right? And people love that trucker.
Yeah.
So can there be a universal brand?
I don't think so. I think those days are done. Definitely not America.
What would be the closest?
McDonald's.
Which is
now trading 9 times sales. Business on absolute fire. And, good segue. AI is coming fast.
Mm-hmm.
And automation is coming fast. If you look at how some of these retailers and food services like Domino's and McDonald's are valued, they're valued like tech companies finally. McDonald's is quickly approaching scale. Like if you believe in the macro thesis that like there's in America, there'll only be rich people and poor people.
Yep.
McDonald's stands to benefit.
Because rich people still like McDonald's.
Yes. I don't you think McDonald's is the brand?
I think it is. I mean, I was listening on Bill Simmons. David Chang was on. David Chang's a famous chef in America, Momofuku, all high-end places. They were debating about what the best burger is in America. David Chang, who's a famous chef, said, I know I'm going to get so much shit. It's McDonald's.
Huh.
Not Shake Shack, In-N-Out, Five Guys. Look, we don't eat meat, so we're bowing out of the debate.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get the hate mail from everyone that like, but this is like a pretty high-end chef.
Yeah.
That said McDonald's is the best burger in America.
Maybe that's a brand that everyone loves. That's it. Our hope is on McDonald's. They just can't do anything.
Yeah, because they do Travis Scott.
Yeah.
And they have, they can do anything.
They can do anything. They just got to stay out of political discourse either way.
I think they've done a good job.
Yeah. I think they have too. All right, moving on. You were talking about Succession. I haven't seen it, but I don't care. You could tell me what happens.
Okay, we can timestamp this, Ari. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Episode 3, season 4 aired on Sunday night. Watch it last night.
Okay.
One of the best television episodes I've seen ever.
Wow. That's what everyone keeps saying.
It was absolutely phenomenal. You said, I don't care. I already know what happens.
I heard that Logan Roy died.
Yes.
I read a comment from a writer on the show that they were keeping it secret. They kept saying Larry David, Larry David, Larry David, which basically meant Logan died. And I read that. I was like, oh, that guy, the old man died.
Yeah. So they were in the midst of this family battle over the company, the children and him.
Heart attack.
Yeah. He dies on this private plane where he was missing one of his son's weddings. Like, yeah,
Dramatic.
it's very dramatic. And he was trying to fight for the company. And what was so riveting about the episode was how many different ways you can interpret what was going on. So you have all his children that are trying to stab him in the back. He's trying to stab them in the back over the battle for this conglomerate. So it's loosely based on Rupert Murdoch, loosely based on Summer Redstone. That's kind of what the internet says, right? Their families. I know nothing about their families, but that's what they say. And it's pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Definitely.
And you have these children that are fighting their dad real time, and he passes. And then you see the emotion come out of the kids, and it's just riveting television.
Did they care?
They cared, but then they didn't want to compliment him. They were crying, but they didn't know they didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So that was
because
like,
they never thought he would die.
They didn't think he was going to die. They also know their dad died.
Yeah.
Regardless of how poorly they viewed him.
Yeah.
They were like, my dad just died.
Yeah.
And it was crazy to see this dynamic. And whoever the show creators are, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And so there's still 5 episodes left.
Yeah. And the season ends, or this is the last culminating season of this series.
I know, but is 5 episodes left?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting. They killed him in the middle of the season.
Yeah. And the scenes from the next is now it's just a fight.
The kids are
just all going to murder each other.
Yeah. Which is great. What also it makes a big argument for is how important appointment television still is. I mean, I feel like the last 10 years, we're all going in reverse now.
Yeah, no, I think if you think about what's the zeitgeist of the Succession is the zeitgeist currently in America.
For older people.
Over 30.
Over 30. Yeah, I agree with that.
But like Netflix probably put out 20 shows this week. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea, but
I watched one of them called Night Action. Unbelievable.
Which one's that?
It's some guy, he's in the FBI, he sits in the basement of the White House, picks up a phone call, goes on this whole murder mystery. Unbelievable. I only watched one episode, so I don't have anything more than the one episode, but
I think it goes back to like old school. If you want to create great television, it takes a long time. Succession probably takes, my guess is 12 to 18 months to
a lot of money
produce. Yeah. A lot of money. And that's how you last.
And more importantly, it's the marketing too, right? The marketing is the fact that you can't get it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you're going to be waiting to watch Sunday.
I can't wait for Sunday night.
Exactly. And so I think that really is the driving force, is that like, how do you
I think
solve for that with
binge
streaming?
Television's great for non-high quality television.
Yeah.
Like if you're just bored and you want it in the background, binge television's great. You just have it and you're playing your mobile game while you're, watching, you're on text. Like it's one of the few times I watch television where I will not text.
Yeah.
I'm like watching the show because every scene is important.
Yeah.
Whereas on these binge shows, you don't need to watch any of it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, great. I look forward to watching it.
Yeah. I don't even think the spoiler matters because the acting and it's just so riveting, especially. And I was like thinking, Silicon Valley, the show on HBO.
Yeah.
I didn't think they went far enough. Like they thought they were doing parody, but real Silicon Valley is 100x what the show was.
Yeah.
And my assumption is complicated billionaire families are way more dark than this.
Yeah.
I think they're way worse.
Oh, for sure.
And so we're getting like a watered down version of what it's like to be
if
in
they actually showed the family, it'd probably be scary. They scare the people away.
Yeah, probably too dark for television.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be similar in the sense that I think it's way worse.
Yeah.
But we get a good edited version of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, moving on. One of our favorite stock predictions of the year, after they announced they bought like a telehealth company?
Sequence.
That helps with weight loss. WeightWatcher stock just exploded today after the closing of the acquisition, and Goldman Sachs thinks the stock will more than triple. That's a big call because it's Goldman.
Yeah, they can't say that stuff lightly.
Yeah,
Triple's insane.
insane.
Even the most bullish predictions on equity research reports from a Goldman Sachs, if you look at any of these stocks, the max you'll see is a 2x.
Yeah,
You're not seeing
which
3x.
is very bullish.
Yeah. So the stock's up 60% based on Goldman's report today. Shout out to Royce from Hawaii.
Yeah.
He sent me his options trades.
He
He made
traded
a
it?
fortune
Oh my
based
god.
on our pod. This
Wow.
is not financial advice.
Yeah.
He said it was in his newsletter. So he said a lot of people are thanking group chat today.
Wow.
I didn't trade it. I wish I
Fucking
did.
Royce, why you tell us? Fuck you.
Well, he learned, listen to us and
I
trade
know,
it.
but tell us. We're idiots. Tell us, man. That's amazing. Good for him.
Yeah, so he made a bag.
What's Royce's newsletter? Shout out to that. We need to sign up to that.
He's getting it from here.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
No,
amazing.
but congrats to Royce. He's been by the office.
Yeah, no, he's a
Um,
great. Him and his girlfriend are great. Actually, no, wife with kid now.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, moving on. Crypto's ripping.
Yeah.
Bitcoin finally passed 30. ETH is at 1900. All the rest are dead.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like this could be a good moment for Bitcoin specifically.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about assets at scale, year to date, nothing's outperformed Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It was at like 16K at the start of the year. It's almost doubled. At
Maybe
this point.
Facebook.
Facebook doubled over a longer period of
Yeah.
time. I think that was October to now.
Yeah.
And on no real news,
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Just that money's going back into it.
Money's going back into it. I think people are actually scared of the bank stuff. I think people, if you saw for the first time since 2008 in a single year, banks that issued mortgages in 2022 are down $308 per mortgage on average
Banks that issued mortgages
in 2022
last
are
year
underwater.
underwater. Why?
I was trying to understand that, to
I
be
mean,
honest.
didn't they get the interest rate? You just collect the money. How are you fucking losing money?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great question.
Yeah.
This has been the news all over Twitter, and I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's the dynamic where they
Yeah.
lose the money.
Yeah,
Are people not paying the mortgages? Maybe that's it.
maybe. I have no idea.
No one's explained the second part, so hopefully by the next episode
we'll figure that
we'll
out.
figure that out. But that was like the stunning headline all week or all day today on Twitter. So there's definitely bank fears. Regional banks, we have no idea how underwater most of these banks are. And I think Bitcoin is obviously here to stay, regardless of what regulations happen in Western countries, because it doesn't matter. It's a global phenomenon. And people are just allocating, like, it's important to have some exposure to
Some
this.
exposure, yeah.
It's only explanation because there's no new news.
Yeah,
If
nothing's
anything,
happening.
Coinbase was about to be like delisted last month. Like,
Yeah, so
dude,
yeah. And
not
well,
delisted,
like,
but
to
like
your point is, it's also like global allocation, right? Like you're talking like Middle East sovereign wealth
Yeah.
funds, Chinese sovereign wealth funds, Norway, this, that. They all got their teeth kicked in, so they're always going to, look to diversify out of different things.
yeah, absent a hack on the chain, there's no way this asset doesn't exist in a large scale.
Yeah.
And people are understanding that. And despite all the bad actors we've seen, like, this is a pretty phenomenal story given what happened in crypto the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Celsius, 3AC, Voyager, and then FTX is obviously the big kahuna.
Yeah.
We're talking tens and tens of billions of dollars just wiped.
Yeah.
If not hundreds.
Yeah.
And people are like, I still want to own this asset.
Impressive. I was thinking about Robinhood stock. It's still around too.
So it's 7-8 billion?
Is it?
I think so.
That's impressive. Yeah, I mean, I think the things that have kind of lasted are still kicking, and they have a purpose to exist. And yeah, $9 billion company,
Still large.
huge.
Even the bank stocks have recovered.
Yeah,
The regional banks,
not First Republic.
not First Republic.
First Republic has not. All right, let's move on. So I was on Do you ever go on? Have you ever been on Temu.com? TEMU,
The Chinese site?
yeah. Should be banned. First of all, I'm a big believer it should be banned.
What is Temu?
It's basically like a discount e-commerce site where you drop ship from China to
Like a Wish.
a Wish.
Where's Wish? It's the
The
hottest startup.
Wish has issues right now. You know what the problem with Wish is? Wish got caught up in selling fake shit, and I think that affected them more than anything. Whereas Temu is just selling junk and really cheap junk and subsidized crazy shipping, and they're making big inroads on, like, I would say, like the real deep discount market. Funniest thing.
Why were you on Temu?
I check it. I'm just curious. I'm very curious about how they price things, and it's like dynamically priced, and it's a very cluttered user experience, and I think it works for a discount shopper. It's really fascinating, and they had an American hat, a USA flag, and in the back said America embroidered. Nice hat. It's $1.87.
Cheap.
It had 1,600 reviews. Free shipping.
They're losing
Yeah.
how much?
This company loses money. They're not making any money. They had like 1,600 reviews, and they had all these like basically older white people posting pictures saying, "Great quality hat. I love America," on this site.
That's getting produced in China that
Yes.
China is making money off of.
100%. Fascinating. Just fascinating thing. Then I keep hearing about Lemonade. Great name.
They definitely play on Beyonce, right?
Yeah, maybe. TikTok played on what's the singer? Kesha.
Yeah.
Lemonade is now one of the top apps in America. I think one of the top apps in the world.
Yep.
And it's part of ByteDance. What
we
the
just-
hell did it even do?
So apparently it's TikTok meets Instagram. So you can post still photos, whereas TikTok you can only do live.
I mean video.
Yeah, live video, sorry. So you can do still pics.
So it's Instagram.
It's Instagram meets TikTok. And we just let it run wild.
Yeah, I mean, what is the incentive at this point? Why couldn't you at least say, hey, we're doing all the investigations right now. We need you guys to just...
This is how arrogant ByteDance is. They're
Yeah.
like, fuck you. We're
Yeah.
launching another monster.
Yeah.
The top 40 app. Most people haven't even heard of it
Yeah.
yet. My guess is it becomes a top 5 app within a week.
Monday, sure.
And it's for younger kids, even younger than TikTok.
6?
It says 12 plus. TikTok's probably 15 plus, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't you?
I don't know. I see. Isn't North on TikTok?
Yeah, they all are actually. So, yeah, ByteDance just a big FU to American tech
Yeah.
and American government and saying, we're going to just launch another monster in front of your face. You're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah. And we have the biggest, most influential app to promote it on.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
thing.
You just put it on TikTok. I just downloaded Lemonade now.
You're
Allow my notifications. Take everything.
take everything. Just entertain me. Show me a Hasbullah video, a couple Milk Boys. I'll give you my credit card, 2 weeks pay, whatever you need.
Yeah, I bet you Hasbullah is probably popping on Lemonade.
I don't know if Hasbullah's on Lemonade yet.
He's pretty advanced. So let's see.
All right, moving on.
And they ask you what your pronouns are. They got everything.
Oh, that's smart.
Let's see. I'm going through the...
Isn't the irony China, the most intolerant society on earth, is building the most tolerant social media because it's just about money and power?
Yep. And about collecting data.
Yeah. In the name of data, they're so tolerant. It's so nice of them. It's wild. Yeah, look. It's Temu, Lemonade. We talk about the soft war with China, but we're doing nothing about it. Instead, Biden administration is weighing in possible rules for AI tools like ChatGPT.
Yeah, this is so insane.
Where are we going? Like, the same ChatGPT is being built in China right
That's
now.
being funded by US LPs.
Yeah. Some US LPs, not all.
Some.
Yeah.
But even though they claim these are Chinese-based venture funds, Sequoia, China, you name it, they're US LPs that are backing it. It's the same ones that are backing the US funds.
Yeah. But so the White House is seriously looking at all of this as
I want to know who's looking at it.
I mean, it ain't Joe.
It's not Mayor Pete.
Yeah.
We could cross those two off.
Yeah. So those two aren't doing it. Kamala Harris not.
Nope.
So who do we got left? AOC?
Well, she's not part of the Biden administration.
Okay.
Like, who's there?
Who on the administration even knows anything about AI?
I guess nobody.
Exactly. And so, but you saw how people are defending that, are against the act that the government, some senators have proposed around banning TikTok, but it also infringes on some potential data issues with Americans. We are going to let TikTok dance on our own grave.
And now Lemonade.
And then ChatGPT
is going to get their hands tied behind their back.
Yes. And it doesn't hurt that Microsoft just basically has an unlimited piggy bank toward them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The Biden administration, the government should be at OpenAI's headquarters.
Yeah.
Weekly.
Trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure out how do we
Work
make
with
sure
them.
that this is an American
advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely. Instead, we're going to have someone who understands nothing of tech policy is just going to come down and hammer something that is going to put them, behind the race.
Yeah.
Because then China's ChatGPT version, China's OpenAI, it's going to be launched freely within the App Store and kick our ass.
Yeah, it'd be number one. They'd be like, I have another clever name of a hot song.
Yeah.
What's a hot song?
Something Taylor Swift.
Okay.
She seems to be trending everywhere.
Yeah. Give me a Taylor Swift.
I don't know.
Give me a song for Taylor Swift. Bad Blood.
Bad Blood, sure.
The new app, Bad Blood. It's all about talking shit about your friends through AI.
Yeah, and they'll control now messaging.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think that like the incompetence and the government on technology is on an epic scale.
Especially when it is the new arms race.
Yeah.
Who controls all these different technology. It's the equivalent of like 30 years ago, like the nuclear arms race. Whoever had the nukes controls the world.
Yeah.
So it's us, Russia, China. There's like 5 or 6 countries in the world that matter in terms of arms.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be who has the most advantages in AI and in crypto.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Everything else is a commodity.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting because specifically on the AI issue, like America has such a head advantage that we're so ahead of everybody else.
In technology, yeah, for sure.
And we have the funds to make sure that we stay far ahead.
And the economic incentive to keep entrepreneurs excited about building this stuff because you can get rich.
Yeah, really fast.
Yeah.
And if we stifle that, like I'm very concerned about how AI will be deployed from a consumer standpoint. If we could wrap our heads around that, but still utilize AI to help improve efficiencies in our life, like it's so stupid.
And you can't let North Korea, China, Iran win this race.
I'm not worried about North Korea winning anything.
They're a big cybersecurity threat. I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen those videos.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of them.
China you should be afraid of.
100%. I'm definitely afraid of China.
Someone was telling me the other day, TikTok offices in LA, Culver City, it's like old school tech. It's all a front. No one's doing anything. They just have to keep hiring people to pretend that Americans are benefiting from this company.
Oh, so no one does anything.
That's what I've heard.
Wow.
It's like old school Google. You know how old school Google, you come in, read a book.
Yeah, you don't actually do anything.
Get on a bike. Go to bike
because they have the ad machine just shitting cash.
Yeah. And the mothership is in China. Those guys are working.
They're working.
Those guys and girls are definitely working.
All right. Good for them. Moving on. Last topic. So YouTube has just come out.
Mm-hmm.
Big news. The NFL Sunday Ticket is out because they bought the rights to it. And I think if you purchase it before June 6th, it's like $100 cheaper.
Yeah. So 249.
Okay.
If you're a YouTube subscriber, so it's cheaper than DirecTV, which was $300 last year.
But if you're not a YouTube subscriber,
it's $100 more.
Ugh.
And if you're not a YouTube subscriber after June 6th, it's like $450.
Wow.
Not cheap.
Not cheap.
And their tech's going to be good, whatever. But if
I
you've
saw that
ever
there was
watched live
delay.
sports on YouTube, because a lot of places now have cut cable, like restaurants and stuff, and watching in the era of gambling, text threads, Twitter, WhatsApp threads with your friends who are watching sports, you can't be as delayed as YouTube is. So YouTube was on average 54 seconds delayed from
my
broadcast
God.
TV at the Super Bowl. So, like, think about that. The actual Fox broadcast is already delayed because they got to make sure nothing crazy is happening in the stadium. So when we're in the stands, we're seeing it before everyone.
They're saying 22 seconds or 24 seconds on national broadcast.
So my friends were getting pissed when we were watching the game. I was like, oh shit, Mahomes. They're what the fuck?
Yeah.
That hasn't even happened.
Yeah.
Because we were at the game.
Yeah.
And then you're now piling in another 54 seconds. I think streaming on sports is a complete disaster.
Wow. You don't think people are going to watch?
I don't think it's going to be a good experience. I think the NFL is the NFL. They're going to get everyone to pay.
We're going to watch.
We're going to watch it, but
I'm going to get in before June 6th.
But think about the sideline reporter. I'm a full minute behind. They're going to be tweeting like, oh my God, Mahomes just buckled his knee.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be sitting there like 3 plays behind.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
No, I'm not down with that. Fuck. Better fix that delay, YouTube.
Yeah, what's the latency issue?
ChatGPT that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be fun because live gambling, you can bet on plays.
Yeah.
It's a big market.
Yeah.
Is the next play a run or a pass? You can bet that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a huge problem because then you have an alpha.
Yeah, the person in the stands.
Yeah.
Then live tennis, that's there was a massive gambling scandal where people were sitting in the stands. Is, Djokovic going to win the point or lose the point in these like random tournaments?
And these sites are delayed.
The sites are delayed and someone would be in the stands texting, boom, 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 boom.
People will find a scam in anything.
Everything's a scam.
Everything's a scam. Oh my God. All right. That's all we have, Kathy's. Nice, short, and sweet episode. Do we have any shout outs?
Shout outs. Don't have any.
Okay.
Going to the game tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Lakers, T-Wolves playing.
You're taking mom?
Taking our mom.
Explain to me how the play-in works.
So the Lakers are the 7th seed. And if they win,
they stay the 7th seed.
They stay the 7th seed and play the Grizzlies. If they lose, they play Friday. Whoever wins the 9 versus 10. And that's for the 8th seed.
Got it.
So we're 8-point favorites.
Wow. So that's a good sign.
Good sign. Hopefully, just cruise in.
Cruise in. And all the big stars in the NBA are healthy and playing.
Of course. Now they're all healthy.
Yeah. God
Everyone's
forbid.
playing. Except Rudy Gobert.
Oh, yeah.
He's suspended tonight.
Because he punched that guy. Well, that guy did call him a bitch, from what I heard.
Yeah, that's what the reports are.
I don't mind. Is this teammate?
Teammate.
Why can't you fight?
He must not be well liked within the team.
Didn't Draymond Green beat up a player on the team?
Yeah, and he played opening night.
Yeah.
I was at that game.
Yeah. That's my point.
He sucker punched Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
And now he's the number 1 sports podcast in the world. Or not.
By the way, I started
top 3.
I started listening to the Matt Damon, Ben Affleck interview. It was good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm like 30 minutes in. Next long drive, I'll finish it.
They're very honest, I feel like.
Yeah.
They're not sugarcoating stuff.
Well, Ben Affleck's admitting that, he struggled.
He's admitting he struggled. And I think what was cool about those two have obviously been tied to the hip for the last 2 decades. Matt Damon talks about how his life was so much easier because he didn't have a famous wife.
Yeah.
He's not someone from the industry. And if you look at who Ben Affleck has been married to, they're all very famous people.
Yeah. Very famous. The most famous.
And he's just I would bike by Ben's house in Brentwood and no one gives a shit about me.
Yeah.
There's 100 cameras.
Yeah.
Seems like they're genuinely best friends, which is what I loved about the episode.
I got to watch the movie still.
Great movie.
I'll watch it in the air.
Not bad.
Like that?
I think they're going to get some awards for that.
Yeah. Why not? Full circle Goodwill Hunting it.
Mhm.
All right, Kathy's. We will see you back here on Thursday. Have a nice rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Peace.